So you just finished some knits and now you're wondering, how do I take care of all these? Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Ev, and on this channel we talk about all things knitting. If you guys have been here for a little while, you probably remember these beautiful socks. These are the leftover candy socks, and this is a pattern that I knit and designed myself. We finished the test knit in October, and now the pattern is live over on Ravelry. I will link it down in the description below. Let me know if you guys cast these on, and I can't wait to see what you guys knit up. And thank you guys so much to everybody who helped make this pattern come true. All the test knitters, the tech editors that helped me with this. The pattern is just in time for the holiday seasons, so you can totally knit these up. They are really quick knits, and you can get this done as a gift for someone this year. So go check it out now. So it's a little bit gloomy and rainy here in Vancouver, and I just thought, let's just take it slow, take care of our knits, and do some knitwear maintenance to make sure our knits stay beautiful and fresh for as long as possible. So I'm just gonna move my knits to the side, and I actually took down some notes for you guys, so let's just get right into it. The first thing I would say to keeping your knits beautiful and clean is actually washing. Now this kind of splits into two little parts. The first part is, especially if you're knitting with wool or animal fibers, they tend to be kind of like self-cleaning. But if that doesn't work, or sometimes things tend to get a little bit messy, we spill, make a mess, what you can then do is to spot clean. The second part, if that doesn't work, it's time to wash it. It would be to actually invest and get yourself some little wool wash soap. My go-to brand is the Eulcalan Delicate Soap. Now this isn't sponsored. I really like this brand. I have it in the smell eucalyptus. I used to get it in the smell lavender till I discovered I love eucalyptus. I don't know what it is. Oh my God, got soap on my nose. But it's like a new discovery recently. And yesterday I was thinking about it, and it's because it smells like Vicks Vapor Rub. When I was a kid, I used to love Vicks Vapor Rub, just the smell. I know you're not supposed to smell it, but it's because it smells like eucalyptus. So my go-to soap is this one. I love it. They sell it in most fabric stores or most knitwear stores. And the reason why I love it is because it smells really great. It works amazingly, and it is a no rinse. You can just put your knit in a bucket of water with a little bit of soap, let it sit, and then you just have to squeeze the water out, and that's it. So you don't have to rinse it again, which removes another step, which could cause friction, cause felting. We want to agitate the knitwear less when it is wet. The next thing I would suggest in investing is a blocking mat. It was just a pack of 8. I think it was like I got like the cheapest one. I've been using these for the past 2 years. It has seen better days. There's quite a few little holes all over it. I do know people also use kids mat or play mats, the ones with the alphabet letter, like the foam mats or yoga mats. Before using a blocking mat, I was actually using an old yoga mat that we weren't really using anymore, so it didn't matter if I was picking through it. And of course, if you get blocking mats, I would suggest getting some T-pins. I'm currently using the Knitter's Pride T-pins, but there are so many different options. And I would suggest getting some actual T-pins, because in the past, when I first started knitting, I wanted to block something really quick, but I didn't wait for the T-pins to arrive. I was really impulsive, and I kind of just blocked it with some push pins. And what I noticed, it didn't happen on my knit, but what I noticed was on the mat, when I removed the knit with the pin, I double checked the knit to make sure it wasn't there. There was a little bit of rust. Again, my knitwear doesn't seem to have any, and I've worn it since, washed it since, it's fine. But in the mat, yeah, I think the humidity kind of caused the little push pin to rust, and they're not waterproof. So just be very careful what you do use to pin your clothes down. So the next secret to keeping your knits beautifully fresh and clean for as long as possible, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but it is lint removing. I have a sweater right here. This sweater was knit up in 100% baby alpaca. It was gazelle alpaca. I did notice that the more softer a fiber is, the more lint prone it is, and alpaca is a really soft fiber. See, the sweater kind of has a little bit of a pilling issue. And how do you remove all those little annoying floofs off your knit? Ranvoo was ever so kind to send me their GoGo Lint Remover, and I am super excited to open it with you guys and try it out together. So since I just got this lint remover in the mail, I thought let's open it together. Ooh. So it comes with a very cute, nice velvet bag. And this is what the remover looks like. This is a lot bigger than I thought it would be and a lot stronger. It looks really, really nice. I really like the green color. Let's see what else is in the box. Little lint remover instructions and pull down to remove the lint bin. I guess this is where the lint is gonna go. Ooh, there's more. With the lint remover, you also get some spare blades. And of course, a charging cable and a little brush to clean out the bristles. So the lint remover comes already charged, and the button is on the back, a very easy push of the button, but it does seem to have 2 different speeds, which is really, really great. So we're just gonna try it on a non-hand knit sweater first, but this sweater kind of has, hopefully you guys can see that, this sweater kind of has a lot of pilling, a lot of little floofs. So we're just gonna give it a try on this first. So let's try it on the sleeve. It removed so much. Okay. I love that this lint remover has 2 different heads. It works so much quicker, and the 2 different speeds work really, really nice. Now, before testing it on my more precious knits, we are going to try it on one of my first cardigans ever. I don't really wear this one just because it was my first cardigan and there's a few mistakes in it before moving on to my much more delicate knits. I was a little bit scared because this kind of has a little bit of a texture to it, and the wool is still kind of frizzy, but it didn't affect the wool, it just removed the little lint pieces. This works really, really well. I just finished the sleeve for my Marseille sweater. This is the before. So as you can see, there's quite a little bit of lint, and this is it now. It looks so good! To prove that this works really, really well, I'm actually going to try it on this sweater, which was knit up with Noro yarn. Now, if you know, Noro is a god in the knitting world. But yeah, so we're going to try it on this sweater. I am honestly amazed at this product and I love it so much. I am honestly amazed at the speed of which I was able to clean out this cardigan, do the front, the back, and both sleeves. So now it is pretty much lint free. One thing that I really like about this lint remover is if it gets too full or if something gets jammed in the little brushes here, it actually stops. There's like a safety check in it, so I think that that is really, really great. So as you can see, the little heads are super, super easy to remove. And this is what the inside looks like. So you can just clean that out with your little brush. Let's see how much it actually collected from my cardigan. Wow. So this again is how much lint it collected from my cardigan right now. Isn't that amazing? That's a lot of lint, a lot of floofs. And I really, really like that it gets just the fuzz. It doesn't get the individual strands. So there are some parts where I kind of do have a yarn strand just sticking out. It didn't cut that. It literally just cuts the tiny little sensitive hairs and fuzz, which is really, really great. Actually, I should weave that end in, but so I'm just gonna clean out my little thing. One thing I will advise you is to not use this on mohair, because mohair, you don't actually want to shave the natural fuzz off, and I want to keep that natural halo on. again, this is super easy, a really nice way to keep your knits nice and clean. So this cardigan is over a year old now, and because of the lint remover, it made it look brand new, as if it was just fresh off the needles and just blocked. This doesn't just work for knits, this works for all materials, leggings, t-shirts, sweaters, anything that basically pills. I've also used this on sweatpants and it works amazingly. So at the back you have a little light to tell you that it's on, and when it's charging it blinks, and when it's done charging the light is on forever. It is now mine. I've removed the tape. I don't know about you guys, but when I remove the final piece of tape, it is now officially mine. If you guys are thinking about buying your next lint remover, I highly recommend you guys check out the Ranvoo lint remover. The 2 heads work amazingly. This is a must in your knit care routine, and check out the link in the description down below and use the code knittingwithEv to get 10% off your purchase. Also, look at all the lint. Honestly, you know what? If you save the lint from your knit designs, it makes great stuffing. If you put this in a Ziploc and save it, instead of using toilet paper next time, I can just put lint inside. Free stuffing! I believe now we are at number 3, the next step to taking care of your knits. And of course, one of the most important steps is actually pest repellent. Knock on wood. This personally has never happened to me so far, but I have seen in the past over on Instagram or past YouTubers mention that they had little bugs, but basically any bug that is attracted to natural fibers such as cotton, silk, and wool. Cotton less, but I think there are still bugs that eat cotton. But basically when you are a knitter, you have loads of yarn in your house. If you're like me, you will have many knits that took you so much time, and the yarn is kind of expensive to create, so you really want to cherish these pieces and keep them for as long as possible. My number one thing that I love to get are, of course, lavender sachets. My local grocery stores sell these and they smell so good. Now, this isn't 100% like proven, but it is believed that lavender is one of the scents that most fabric eating bugs don't like at all, so it makes them, it's a little too strong for their nose, and they really don't like it. I have a few of them all over the house. I put them wherever I store my yarn or my knits, and once in a while I'll go around and just like squeeze this sachet just to like get the odor refreshed. Just to refresh the odor, I will squeeze them. I also have a lavender spray bottle that I will walk around sometimes and just spray. I personally love the smell of lavender. You can actually find these fairly easy online. Some of them even sell like a bunch of kits. You can make your own. You can grow your own lavender, let it dry out. The next thing I would suggest picking up is, I actually got it from Muji, and it is a little bag that has a bunch of cedar wood, because cedar wood can actually be expensive, and if you're lucky and you have a very old, I think it's like vintage chests that is made with cedar wood, you're lucky, but I don't. Again, cedar wood is one of those smells. I looked into it and apparently it makes them go kind of like cuckoo and insane, and they lose their sense of orientation, they stop eating, and then they just die. So it kind of makes them go like wacky. It's like a really strong smell, so they stay away from it, but if they're too close, they just go insane and die. The kit I got came with like a bunch of different cubes, but then what you also do is take a little sandpaper and just like once in a while sand it. It smells really good. It smells like a spa. Honestly, these two smells, I think that's why I really like this. And with the eucalyptus soap, it like creates a little spa vibe at home when you have all these herbs and essences going around. But yeah, so what you want to do is just sand a little piece, and it'll refresh the scent if it goes away. One thing to be careful with the cedar wood is it can stain. So what I like to do is I have a few little pouches, and I will just store the cedar wood inside the pouch so that the smell can still come out, but at the same time it doesn't stain my fabric, and if it does stain, it'll just stain the little bag. But you can also pick up some cedar wood essential oils or lavender essential oils. All you have to do is just spray it on some fabric or on the bag, but not directly on your knits, because you don't want to stain your knits. Now, essential oils don't really last that long, so you might have to refresh it, but it does help like amp up the smell even more. Number 4, the fourth recommendation to keeping your knits beautifully and nice is to never hang them. Always fold them. I see people in videos often have like a coat hanger and then they'll have all their knits, and that is a big no-no, because it will pull on your knit and will stretch it out over the long, and you don't really want that because then your stitches here will look longer than the other one. So basically you can just get some really weird stretching and deformation in your sweaters when you hang your knits. So an alteration to that is actually to fold your knit and store them horizontally. If you are someone who's terrified of bugs like I am, and not that I've had that, but I've seen people go through that experience, and I don't currently have a freezer that is big enough to put all my knits in a bag and shove them in the freezer. And I'm someone who likes to think ahead and avoid the problem before it actually comes. So my solution to that was to actually get some storage bins. So these are the types of bins that I use to store my knits. They are bins from Muji. I like these bins because if you get a bunch of them, they all look unified and store really, really nice. It's a perfect height to fit under my bed, but also it fits really nice in a library. There's different sizes. I love that it's like a fabric texture, seals the knits, and then with the zipper, it's always really, really nice. The more, I don't know what to call this, but there's like a more harder lining on the inside, so it's not just fabric. And what I like to do with these is actually the lavender and the cedar wood, I put it inside to keep the knits fresh. And this is what I use to also store my winter knits or my summer knits to move them around. And if you guys have noticed for my yarn, I also like to store my yarn in compartments. So these are technically supposed to be shoe boxes. I picked them up at Winners, which is kind of like the Marshalls in the US. I don't know what it would be anywhere else. But yeah, these were supposed to be shoe bins to store your shoes, but I use it for yarn. I really wanted a clear bin to store my yarn so I can still see it, so that it makes it easier when I'm searching for a yarn. And it looks really, really pretty in my library of knits. So those were the 5 essential steps or items you need to make sure that your knits stay beautiful for as long as possible and really stay timeless and just looking like they were fresh off the needle. I hope you guys have a lovely, beautiful day. If you guys have any other tips and tricks on how to take care of your knits, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys all later. Bye!